Well, we're back again. We're back again with this book. It's not a pleasant book to read, not a pleasant book to listen to. The fifth persecution, commencing with Severus, A.D. 192, from Fox's Book of Martyrs. The Emperor Severus, having been recovered from a severe fit of sickness by a Christian, became a great favor of the Christians in general. But the prejudice and the fury of the ignorant multitude prevailing, obsolete laws were put in execution against the Christians. The progress of Christianity alarmed the pagans, and they revived the failed calumny of placing accidental misfortunes to the account of its professors. A.D. 192. Yeah, folks, just like today, bad things happen. It's a Christian's fault. If we didn't have those Christians around, everything would be better, wouldn't it? Yeah, right. But though persecuting malice raged, yet the gospel shone with resplendent brightness, and firm as an impregnable rock, withstood the attacks of its boisterous enemies with success. Tertullian, who lived in this age, informs us that if the Christians had collectively withdrawn themselves from the Roman territories, the empire would have been greatly depopulated. So there were so many Christians. Victor, Bishop of Rome, suffered martyrdom in the first year of the 3rd century A.D. 201. Leonidas, the father of the celebrated Origen, was beheaded for being a Christian. Many of Origen's hearers likewise suffered martyrdom, particularly two brothers named Plutarchus and Serenus. Another Serenus, Heron, and Heraclides were beheaded. Rheas had boiled pitch poured upon her head, and was then burnt, as was Marcella her mother. Potania, the sister of Rheas, was executed in the same manner as Rheas had been. But Basilides, an officer belonging to the army, in order to attend her execution, became her convert. Basilides, being as an officer required to take a certain oath, refused, saying that he could not swear by the Roman idols, as he was a Christian. Struck with surprise, the people could not at first believe what they heard, but he had no sooner confirmed the same than he was dragged before the judge, committed to prison, speedily afterwards beheaded. Irenaeus, Bishop of Lyon, was born in Greece and received both a polite and a Christian education. It is generally supposed that the account of the persecution at Lyon was written by himself. He succeeded the martyr Pothinus as Bishop of Lyon, and ruled his diocese with great propriety. He was a zealous opposer of heresies in general, and about A.D. 187 he wrote a celebrated tract against heresy. Victor, the Bishop of Rome, wanting to impose the keeping of Easter there, in preference to other places, it has occasioned some disorders among the Christians. In particular, Irenaeus wrote him a synodical epistle in the name of the Gallic churches. This zeal in favor of Christianity pointed him out as an object of resentment to the emperor, and in A.D. 202 he was beheaded. The persecutions now extending to Africa, many were martyred in that quarter of the globe, the most particular of whom we shall mention. Perpetua, a married lady of about 22 years. Those who suffered for her were Felicitas, a married lady, big with child at the time of her being apprehended, and Revocatus, catechumen of Carthage and a slave. The names of the other prisoners destined to suffer upon this occasion were Saturninus, Secundulus, and Satyr. On the day appointed for their execution, they were led to the amphitheater. Saturninus, and Revocatus were ordered to run the gauntlets between hunters, or such as had the care of the wild beasts. The hunters, being drawn up in two ranks, they ran between, and were severely lashed as they passed. Felicitas and Perpetua were stripped, in order to be thrown to a mad bull. which made his first attack upon Perpetua and stunned her. He then darted at Felicitas and gored her dreadfully. But not killing them, the executioner did that office with his sword. Revocatus and Satyr were destroyed by wild beasts. Saturninus was beheaded, and Secundulus died in prison. These executions were in 205, on the 8th day of the March. Spiratus and 12 others were likewise beheaded, as were Andocles in France. Asclepiades, bishop of Antioch, suffered many tortures, but his life was spared. Cecilia, a young lady of good family in Rome, was married to a gentleman named Valerian. She converted her husband and brother, who were beheaded, and the Maximus, or officer who led them to execution, becoming their convert, suffered the same fate. The lady was placed naked in a scalding bath, and having continued there a considerable time, her head was struck off with a sword, A.D. 222. Callistus, bishop of Rome, was martyred A.D. 224, but the manner of his death is not recorded. And Urban, bishop of Rome, met the same fate, A.D. 232. Tomorrow, the sixth persecution under Maximus, Emperor Maximus, A.D. 235. Remember these people. Impossible to remember their names. I can't even read most of them properly. Remember what they went through. They went through this for Christ's sake. They suffered for the name of Christ, for the name Christian. Someday this may come our way. Think on these things. God bless, brothers and sisters.